So what's going on, everybody? Doesn't look like I got anybody in the chat tonight, but hey, that's actually probably a good thing because the only smiling you're probably going to see is coming off of this cup right here. You're not going to be getting any smiling coming out of me after everything I've seen this last weekend. But hey, we can go ahead and talk about something good that happened. Week one, we actually pulled together and actually won a game. We beat the Broncos 17-16. Now, I know I am late on your post-game review for week one, so this is going to be an episode where your post-game review week one and your post-game review week two are going to be in the same episode. I hope I'm not going to be having to do too many of those this year. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over here and we're going to go look at the stats for week one. You know, before we jump into the debacle that we saw for week two. Let me share the screen here. What's going on, Aunt? What's going on, Robert, man? Thank you guys for stopping in. Let me go ahead and present this here. I want to show the screen. Yep, that's the one. The one where we actually did win. Jimmy Garoppolo in week one went 20-26 for 200 yards and a 7.7 yard average, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception. He didn't get sacked at all with a quarterback rating of 76.4 with an overall rating of 107.9. Josh Jacobs had 19 carries for 48 yards and a 2.5 yard per carry average. That's pretty goddamn low. We're going to talk about that too. Jimmy Garoppolo, 9 for 11. Zamir White. I mean, really, what can I say about week one? We barely skated by. If you really look at it, man, you know, we were just, at least we were able to hold on to the game at the end. That's really the best takeaway I can say about week one. We should have blew these motherfuckers away. All right? Even with Russell Wilson and Sean Payton and everybody they got over there, that team's still not running like a well-oiled machine. And to me, we should have blew them out of the water just like we've been blowing them out of the water for the past 3 years. But we barely skate by them. It is a win. A win is a win. And just like I said before, and like I've said in the chats and everything you guys see that I'm a part of, I'm going to take a W no matter how we get it. I don't care how ugly it is. A W is a W because ultimately that is the stat that fucking matters. But then when we hop over, all right, I'm going to stop sharing this screen right here because I can really care less about week one. I'm pretty sure y'all don't care about week one either. You know, week one was wonderful, to say the least. But in all actuality, we live in the now, right? And when we live in the now, we saw exactly what happened. Because then we go over to, as a matter of fact, let me go ahead and switch on over to this scene here. Since I decided to go ahead and make this backdrop, I might as well. Week two, when we finally get the opportunity to show what we've got on how good of a team that this team could possibly be going up against an elite team in the Buffalo Bills, who obviously had their issues week one because they're 1-1 too now. You know, they got their asses handed to them week one, and I believe that was by, who was that by? Was that by the Jets? You know, then they come over here. Well, we go into the Bills, and they pretty much mollywop us 38-10. So let's go and look at the stats for that, shall we, Raider Nation? Let's see where all the problems presented themselves for week two in the 38-10 shellacking that we took. Jimmy Garoppolo went 16 of 24 for 185 yards, again averaging 7.7 yards per pass, 1 touchdown, 2 interceptions. He wasn't sacked at all, but his quarterback rating was a 25.4 with an overall rating of 68.9. Trey Tucker was our leading rusher on an end-around 1 carry for 34 yards. Zamir White was able to come into the game and get, 4 touches for 22 yards at a 5.5 yard average, his longest being 8. But the big glaring issue here is Josh Jacobs, 9 carries, -2 yards, 3 being his longest carry. Receiving. Now, Jacob Myers obviously wasn't in the game due to a concussion that he suffered in week 1, so he did not play this week. So Davante Adams, being the number 1 guy that he was, took over all the receiving yards, 6 receptions for 84 yards. He was targeted 8 times, had our opening touchdown of the lonely 10 points that we scored. Josh Jacobs had 5 receptions for 51 yards, targeted 6 times. The one that he missed, we're going to go over that. I don't wholly put that on him. Hunter Renfrow targeted once. Now, this is a fucking issue. We got Jacoby Myers, who was targeted like 8 times last game. If I remember right, what was he targeted? He was targeted 9 times for 81 yards last game. Hunter Renfrow gets 1 reception for 23 yards. Austin Hooper 2 for 20, targeted both times. Amir Abdullah 1 for 5. Michael Mayo 1 for 2. He was targeted once. Trey Tucker targeted once but didn't get a reception. Same thing with DeAndre Carter. 16 receptions for 185 yards at 11.6 average with 1 touchdown. 23 being our long. Defensively, this is what sticks out to me. Look at how many people we have on the board compared to them. When you look at the stats, Robert Spillane had 14 total tackles, 8 solo. He also had quite a few misses there too, if I don't recall. He did get 1 sack. And of course, he hit the quarterback once. Divine Diablo was number 2 with 10 total, 6 solo, 1 sack as well. Jacorian Bennett, he had 9 total tackles. They were picking on him all fucking game long. 5 of those were solo. Max Crosby had 7 total, and 6 of those were solo. Nate Hobbs 7 for solo with 1 pass deflection. Marcus Epps stepped into the game, man, did really well. 6 total tackles. 5 of those were solo. 1 of those tackles was for a loss. But you see how many people we had on the board compared to them. And you wonder, why in the fuck was that? Well, if you didn't watch the game, you're probably wondering exactly why it was like that. So let's go over to team stats, and let's look at team stats right quick, because there is one glaring thing here. The Bills held on to the ball for 40 minutes and 4 seconds. We held on to the ball just shy under 20 minutes. How are we supposed to win any games if the time of possession is so lopsided? I watched our whole team get pretty much gassed out in the 3rd quarter. They kept our defense on the field all 3rd quarter long. Look, it shows in the first downs. We had 13 first downs compared to their 29. 10 of our fucking first downs were passing. 17 of theirs were passing, which means we gave up 10 rushing first downs. We also gave up 2 first downs by penalties. 3rd down efficiency, we were 3 for 7. They were 7 of 13. 4th down efficiency, we didn't even attempt to do anything 4th down, which I don't know why, especially being down by that many points. But Buffalo went 3 for 4 in 4th down. In total plays, the Raiders ran 39 plays compared to the Buffalo Bills 74. And the yards is pretty much definitely doubled. We have 240 and they had 450 total yards. Everybody, each team had 9 drives apiece. So let's get into the meat and potatoes of this whole show. What's going on, everybody, man? Thank you for jumping into the chat. I didn't even see y'all in there. I'm too busy over here looking at these stats. Now, I was on vacation this last week. All right, and I did everything I could to enjoy myself, and everything seemed to be going just about all right. I don't know. We still had a few hiccups here and there, going through some things, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. And Friday wasn't very good either. But Saturday, everything started to turn around. Everything started to do pretty damn well. But then Sunday rolled around, and I'm riding home on the train watching this fucking game. We're definitely not there yet. This is kind of exactly what I was expecting, is that sooner or later that the continuity of this team and the chemistry of this team was going to reap its ugly face, which the chemistry is absolutely terrible. Useless penalties that keep the defense on the damn field are problems. The offense not being able to get the ball in their hands, because that's really like the best part of our team is our offense. That's a problem. And I'm not going to hit this solely on defense. You know, it looked like a shit show all the way around that whole fucking game. It was extremely hard to watch. And I'm sure every single one of y'all know exactly what I'm talking about, because we slowly watched this team learn how to unplay the game of football in one fucking week. Our quarterback not making the proper decisions, throwing into double coverage, and I'm hearing excuses that that was on Josh Jacobs, when he's literally blanketed by two defenders. We didn't make any fucking excuses for Derek Carr. I don't expect to hear any fucking excuses for Jimmy Garoppolo neither. I am so sick and tired of the bias of this fan base. You can say one thing, but you can't say another. Might hurt somebody's pussy or something. But when you tell the truth with intensity, I'm not worried about your fucking feelings. I am ultimately worried about all of our feelings, because we are really just watching this team completely make a fool of themselves, in turn making us look foolish as well for even believing in them. The defense, we're not getting any fucking rushing up the middle, man. We're not getting any pass rush from our defensive line. Defensive line looks just as fucking bad this year as it did last year. Max Crosby looks like he's out there playing this whole game on his own, while everybody else is just bodies taking up a position on the field. We go and we get a dude like Tyree Wilson. He's obviously not where he needs to be yet when it comes to where we need him to be, which is a force to be reckoned with. We've got Psycho Jones out here spreading all kinds of crazy shit. You know, you start to wonder about this coaching staff and about the whole organization when you see all of your primetime guys, at least guys that we thought were going to be primetime, either one, jettisoned off the team, two, pulling bullshit like Josh Jacobs pulled, holding out, and like Chandler Jones is doing right now. You begin to start scratching your head, but then you go and look at history and you look at the last time this guy was a coach. The same thing happened in Denver. I don't know. I don't trust this coach, man. And I don't trust the process that I'm seeing, because I don't see any adjustments in the second half. We didn't even throw up any adjustments in the second half. And we're getting fucking mollywopped. And you don't adjust? What happened to the run blocking? It used to be our strength. Run blocking? Hell no, man. The Raiders' offensive line and the blocking scheme that they are doing, they are showing you their biggest El Matador impression ever. Because they are getting Josh Jacobs, Zamir White, and anybody else who's in that backfield lit the fuck up before they even hit the line of scrimmage. That's a problem. And then when you got Jimmy G in the passing game, holding on to the ball for 4 seconds in the pocket, only to release that motherfucker in double and triple coverage to ultimately see the ball get picked off. That shit is unacceptable. Especially when you got a dude like Davante Adams the best wide receiver in the fucking NFL on your team. It's unacceptable, man. And I'm tired of seeing the fucking excuses. When are we going to hold this regime, this coaching staff, this owner accountable for the dismay of the way this football team plays on the field? And some of y'all are doing it. I'll give you that. Some of y'all are finally coming around and you're getting away from drinking that fucking corporate Kool-Aid, from buying that snake oil that this organization has been trying to sell us for the past 20 seasons. Oh, we're going to be better. We're going to do better. Well, the last 2 years have been absolutely fucking terrible. Because we're not able to compete. And we're not able to compete. We cannot compete against the good teams. Now, if the Bills did this to us, could you imagine what the Chiefs are going to do to us next? This team needs to get it together. And they need to get it together in a damn hurry. Because if everything keeps going the way it's going, my prediction of 7-10 during the offseason, when we looked at the schedule, 7-10, 8-9, we'll be lucky to get 5-12. I'm not even going to mention the other quarterback. You know, the guy that you can't even talk about without people fucking biting your head off. But he's over in his new organization with the defense winning games. We didn't even address the defense. We band-aid the defense. That's what we did. Byron Young is not even a starter. And we drafted him what? In the second round? You know? Where's Audrey Burney, dude? You know? Who was that? Our 5th round pick? Where's he? He's non-existent. Haven't seen him on the field. Tyree Wilson, slow off the ball. Looks like that injury and him not being able to go full during off-season training and everything like that has really hurt him. It sucks, man, because we're literally watching this. We're literally seeing the chemistry of this team, and if there's hardly any chemistry. We waited, with Josh Jacobs not being there for preseason and OTS. That shit definitely hurt, bro. That shit definitely hurt. He averaged 2.5 yards a carry in the past 2 weeks. And then this last week, he got -2 yards. What's going on, Raider Ben? I mean, dude, this is a fucking issue when Zamir White's doing better than you are. You know, they went ahead and gave you a contract, and here you are coming in here -2 yards. Now, man, you need to get back into conditioning. You need to do what you got to do. Maybe you're just coming in here and going through the motions. I don't know. But 2.5 yards ain't going to cut it, man. 2.5 yards per carry ain't going to cut it. You getting hit in the backfield and not breaking any tackles ain't going to cut it. The offensive line not run blocking ain't going to cut it. Jimmy Garoppolo throwing 2 interceptions a game. The offense only scoring 10 points a fucking game. This ain't going to cut it. This ain't going to cut it. With Derek fucking Carr, we averaged 27 points a game. To ultimately get this fucking whelp who can't even throw the ball 20 yards without putting both butt cheeks behind the pass? And y'all like this shit? This is fucking crazy to me. Man, I hope he gets it together. Because if not, Josh McDaniels needs to be fired. Because ultimately, and regardless on what anybody wants to say, man, this ultimately falls on that same coaching regime that you guys have been sitting there stuffing your nose up their ass and fucking kissing their ass and loving all up on them because they were fucking expatriates. Y'all should be ashamed. And I don't understand how in the hell we can fucking trust these guys. seeing what the fuck we're seeing. It's the same shit we saw in Denver. But everybody wants to make excuses. Well, excuses are like assholes, son. Everybody's got one, and they all fucking stink. And I'm tired of hearing your fucking excuses. Raiders, I'm tired of hearing your fucking excuses. Get that fuck on the field and fucking execute. God, I hate that I let this fucking team get me riled up this much, man. But these motherfuckers are gonna put me into an early grave. I think that I could do a better job running this fucking team than anybody in that front office, and I beg for anybody else to say otherwise. Because a monkey could do a better fucking job than Josh McDaniels, Dave Ziegler, Patrick Graham, and Mick Lombardi have in the past 2 seasons. Our coaching staff fucking sucks. And that's the bottom line. It doesn't matter the pieces that we have on this team if the coaches can't coach. Thank you for stopping in the Raider Critique, where we tell the truth with intensity and we don't drink the corporate Kool-Aid. And I want to shout out the chat, man, because I'm done with this fucking episode. I'm sorry that it took so long to do it. I really wanted to try to calm down before I did it. As you can see, how well did that fucking work out? Didn't work out too goddamn well. So let me shout y'all out, man, because I see all y'all in here. We got On 6, brother, Robert Pena, my brother, thank you for stopping in. And then we've got J-Dub, thank you for dropping in, brother. Milk and Beezy, thank you, brother, for stopping in, man. Salute to you. Raphael, my brother, man, it's good to see you, man. I hope everything is well with you, bro. D-Minutes, what's going on, brother? It's good to see you. NorCal Raider Jesse, man, I see a lot of y'all coin winners in here, man. It's fucking badass to see y'all in here, bro. Let's see who else we got in here. And then, of course, one of my greatest friends, one of the dudes who fucking really just keeps me fucking coming back on here and fucking fires me up every time I watch his lives, my brother Raider Ben, man, and I fucking salute you, dude. Thank you for dropping in, man. But shit, man, this has been your post-game episode of Week 2 and Week 1 right here on the Raider Critique. And I'm sorry for getting so fucking riled up, dude, and spitting everywhere. But, you know, I mean, dude, I'm tired of fucking losing. And I know y'all are too, man. I mean, you see, look, put my fucking eyes down, dude. Look at this. You know what I mean? This is the fucking type of stress this team puts me under. You feel me? You know, on top of a fucking fucked up ass week, this fucking team comes out and lays an egg on Sunday, dude. Look, check it out, bro. I'm riding on a fucking train with a shit ton of people. I got earphones in because, you know, you got to have your earphones in so nobody's fucking listening to you. And here I am, glued to my phone. It's quiet as fuck on this train. All right? You can only imagine when I saw Jimmy Garoppolo throw that fucking pick, the obscenities that came out of my fucking mouth, and how everybody on the train turned around to look at me. And my wife had to explain to them, oh, don't worry about him. He's just watching his Raiders. You guys think I've been bad on this episode, dude. You should have heard the shit that was coming out of my mouth on that train. And I didn't give a fuck who was around, dude. I didn't care who was around at all. I mean, luckily, this is why I really don't go out in public while trying to watch the game, because I get too emotional watching this shit. Watching Jakorian Bennett pretty much give up in the middle of plays, dude. That shit's unacceptable. And that is enough to make me rip my motherfucking hair out. Just like it should be for every single one of you. Jakorian Bennett is getting the start. And I saw that dude getting used like fucking toilet paper all game long. To the point to where it broke him. It broke him and he started giving up in the middle of plays. Where was the coaches on that? Even my fucking layman ass saw that. That he was giving up and you kept him in the fucking game? That's unacceptable. That's completely unacceptable. You saw a few guys out there literally giving up. And they should have been pulled at that very moment, because that does not give us the best chance of winning by having guys in there who are discouraged and don't feel like that they can give it their all. Even my layman's ass saw that. And you didn't see it? But they pay you this millions of dollars to be a fucking NFL coach? Come on, man. Whose dick are you sucking? For real, you shouldn't even have a fucking job. You need to take your fucking sweater vest having ass back to New England where the fuck you belong. Because you don't fucking belong here. You're a fucking joke. And your coaching staff's a fucking joke. And you're making this team the laughing stock of the NFL. It's Raider Nation for life, man. If we can't win on the field, at least we can do is win in the parking lot.